The Supreme Court shut down student loan forgiveness yesterday, and if you're anything like me, you really had your fingers and toes and everything else crossed that it would come through. So here are 5 ways you can use online teaching to help pay back those loans. Hey there, I'm Allison from OnlineTeacherAllison.com, and I teach stay-at-home parents how to teach online so they can earn an income from home. Hey there, and welcome to our newest cold coffee chat where the coffee is not cold by choice, but because of kids. So, like I said in my intro, we're going to talk about how you can use online teaching to pay back those student loans. And I'm not assuming in this video that you're already making enough money to pay back those student loans, right? Like you have probably allocated that money somewhere else. Like I have. We've been throwing it on extra bills. But now you need it again. So let's talk about how you can make more money than you're already making. So if you're already going, I've got some ways you can make extra money. And if you're brand new, then use these to get started too, because that's already extra income for you. So go grab your favorite cup of yum and come back to me. All right, I hope you are properly caffeinated because we're going to get into a little math today. Now, of course, these will be pretty general because I don't know what your minimum payment is. And I don't know, like every circumstance is different, but my goal for this is to kind of inspire you to kind of see what you can do to update what you're already doing. So let's say you're already teaching and you're pretty close to maxed out. Let's teach just one extra class. And we're not going to teach one extra class every day. We're going to teach one extra class 5 days a week because you deserve a break. You're busy, right? So if we teach one extra class 5 days a week, that's 20 days. You with me on that? Let's just make that easy math. So 20 days. And let's say you get paid $7 per class. See, here's where it gets kind of general because everyone is different. And if you want to teach more than 20 days, maybe you want to do 25. So this is just general, right? So 20 days times $7 a class. I'm assuming here one class is 25 to 30 minutes, okay? Not an hour, every half hour. This might be a little on the high end. Just stay with me, okay? So this is $140 a month. I don't know about you, but my student loan is more than that. So let's teach an extra hour. We'll just double it. That's $280. It's a lot closer. Now, if you want to teach more and you can teach more and do that, otherwise, this might be your minimum. I don't even remember my minimum anymore. I haven't even logged in yet. And also, my loan has been sold to someone else since 2020, so like I got to find that paperwork too. So $280 seems like a fair starting point. I understand if that does not cover it, you can teach more classes. You can do 25 days or and to have like 1 day off a week, or you can find money from elsewhere just to like make that small gap. But I'm trying not to assume that you have extra money to spend because I know inflation is outrageous right now. So that's your first option. You can teach an extra class, an extra 2 classes, but I don't want you to kill yourself, okay? The second thing you can do is if you're on a platform like OutSchool, where it's an online teacher marketplace, you've got OutSchool, you've got SuperProf, I think AllSchool is another one. Anyways, if you're on one of those teacher marketplaces, you can raise your prices. Now, I'm not telling you to raise your prices by like $10 or $30 per student per class. That's ridiculous. Maybe raise it a couple bucks. So if you have a class of 5 students, back to my whiteboard, math's almost done. 5 students, I'm just going to put S for student, S-T-U. 5 students, and you're charging each student $10. I know I wrote that backwards, but it's okay. Before they take their portion, which is different for everybody, you're going to make $50 for that class. Okay, this is before they take their percentage. So what if you charge them $12 per class, and you keep it at 5 students? 12 times 5, well, you just earned yourself an extra $10 for every full class that you teach at $12 an hour. It's not an outrageous price increase. You've been teaching this a while. I'm sure you can justify it. If you feel bad just raising the price, then try to level up that class somehow by adding extra something, an extra game, an extra printable, an extra video. Try to oomph it up somehow where it doesn't require you to extend the class time. You're not teaching anything longer. You're just making it beefier. Or the buzzword in education for this is more rigorous. Oh, that word makes my eye twitch. Anyways, so you can charge more per class. You make an extra $10, and that's just for one class. So if you think about how that adds up over a month, you can get a little more money. But rather than raising class prices, let's open our class up to more students. So we're going to keep it at $10 per class. But instead of the 5, remember we started at 5 students, maybe you're more willing to teach a bigger group. Let's make it 8. Already, this is $80 per class. That's full before those platforms take their percentage. And I talk about the percentage in the best non-ESL platforms because they're all different. OutSchool takes 30%. Some take less, some take more. OutSchool is on the higher end though. So if you're on OutSchool, just remember that. So you can do that. Or you can do a combination of both and you can teach. You can raise your price. We're going to go back to $12. We're going to raise the price. We're going to go back to $12 and we're going to keep it at our increased student amount of 8. So now you're making almost $100 for an hour of work, half an hour of work, whatever it happens to be. Now remember, these are all very general. It's just ways of showing you how you can increase your income from what you're already doing. And this is actually one of my favorite ways of doing it, but I don't like teaching on online teacher marketplaces because lesson planning is not my jam. But it might be yours. Option number 4. So we have teach an extra class, or 2, raise your prices of your already existing classes, increase your class sizes, or number 4 is to create a new class. So if you have the time and like the emotional space to do it, then create a brand new class and try to find a gap in the marketplace. So for example, let's talk about like circle time, where you do like calendar math and story time, and in that morning circle time you do counting and songs and colors and morning meeting. That's very saturated. I looked into classes like that to teach. So I want you to try to find a gap in the marketplace, but I want you to already know how to do it. I don't want to put more work on you. So if you are great at woodworking, and there's not a lot of woodworking classes and you can easily teach that online, do it. Because if there's a gap, you are more likely to get the students you need to fill those classes. So find that gap in the marketplace that you are an expert in, and this will take a little bit of time up front. But if you do it right and you time it right, it can seriously pay you back. So my last thing is, now this is assuming a few things, and it's not that you have money on your hands. It's assuming that either you have some experience teaching online somewhere. If you are brand new teaching online and have no prior teaching experience, this one's not for you. But if you've been teaching online for 6 months to a year, or you have prior teaching experience somewhere, and remember that experience doesn't have to be like in the classroom. It can just be with kids, like mentoring or babysitting or volunteering somewhere. Some platforms accept that, so you need to think about that. It's to find a higher paying platform. So some platforms I know don't pay very well at all. And if you've got the experience under your belt, maybe it's time to start looking for a higher paying platform. And I've got some platforms here at my free download, onlineteacherallison.com/platform. It'll give you a starting off point. Because if you're like me, you like pre-made lessons, that's going to be a way to do it. So if you find a higher paying platform, you're going to make more bang for your buck. So I know we are not happy about student loans not being forgiven, and I'm not here to debate the merits of whether it shouldn't be or whether it should be forgiven. The fact of the matter is that the Supreme Court shot it down, and here's how you can use online teaching to kind of help make up whatever it is you're missing in your budget, because Inflation's ridiculous. It's summer. We have either more or less time on our hands, just depending. So think about these 5 ways, look at your schedule, and decide which one or two you want to do. So for me, I'm going to be opening extra classes because my higher paying platform that I'm usually on is pretty quiet over the summer, and I'm pretty busy, so I am not able to teach the times that are booking on my higher platform. My son's got swim lessons all next month, so I just don't have the time. I do have the time to wake up early and teach a couple extra classes that I'm not already teaching. I know it stinks. I'm not excited about it either, but it is what it is. I hope I didn't ruin your relaxing cup. And I hope you're having the greatest week ever. And we'll chat soon.